Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another PlayStation 5 review. Today I'm taking a look at Hogwarts Legacy. Now I know this has been out for some time now, but I've only fairly recently got a chance to play this game. And I've been putting as much time into this game as I possibly can in order to get a review up for you guys. Now, Harry Potter is a franchise that, while I haven't read the books, I grew up. Well, not I say grew up. My son grew up with the movies, and I certainly enjoyed watching them with him. And I really do enjoy the Harry Potter franchise. That's for sure. So, the Harry Potter franchise and an RPG sounds like a match made in heaven to me. And I would imagine for Harry Potter superfans, this is the game of their dreams. Now, my son, who has, as I say, grown up with the Harry Potter franchise, he was born in 2006, so the films were well underway by the time he was born. But we enjoyed them a great deal watching them all as he were growing up. And one thing he used to absolutely love was buying all the Harry Potter games that he could get his hands on when he was younger. The Lego Harry Potter games, the EA Harry Potter games, you name it. He wanted to try them and play them all. But none of them really satisfied. And I played many of them with him when he was younger, but none of them really scratched that itch when it came to being a Harry Potter fan. Until now, it would seem, because we've got Hogwarts Legacy, which is, I would imagine for real fans of Harry Potter, this is like definitely a dream come true, because it gives you everything that you could want, I would suspect, from a Harry Potter game. Now, the story consists of, it's set quite a long time before the time of Harry Potter. So, you know, while the locations and everything will feel very, very familiar, this is a completely different story set in the past. And you start as a fifth-year student at Hogwarts, and you can completely design your character from scratch. You can either be male, female, and there's quite an array of choice, really, to choose and customize your very own character. And then you get straight underway, and you are thrust into an adventure immediately. There is this mystery going on that you've got to try and help solve, while at the same time trying to settle into Hogwarts, go to your lessons, learn your magic, learn your spells, explore, and get into all sorts of adventures. I don't really want to spoil much in the way of the story. I never really like to with these sort of things. I like you guys to experience it yourself. But needless to say, I have to say that they really haven't held back here in the story. It's quite a lot of fun to play. It's not overly complex or anything like that, but it is a really good story that I really enjoyed playing through, I'm not going to lie. Now, this is, as I've mentioned, an RPG. So, essentially, you will learn your spells, you can upgrade, you've got traits and things like that. So you learn your spells from doing different classes and doing like different tasks for your teachers and things like that, and they'll teach you a new spell. They're very easy to learn, and then you've got to choose where you're going to slot them on like your controller sort of thing. You can swap them around whenever you want. You've got traits where you can upgrade all your spells and things like that, and all the other things associated with them. There is a huge amount of items to loot in this game, treasure to find from exploring and doing missions, finding chests. Some of them require some mild puzzle solving to get them, and some of them you'll just find throughout the map. And it is a really quite substantial map. Of course, you've got Hogwarts, the grounds of Hogwarts, which will keep you endlessly occupied in regards to exploring and all the other secrets to find in Hogwarts. And you've got all the grounds, and you've got Hogsmead, and a huge amount more as well. The surrounding grounds and the woods and everything, the Forbidden Forest. You've got everything that you could want here in this game, and you can traverse it really quite easily as well. You've got ways to fast travel. In the game, once you find the location and it unlocks, you can fast travel there. But also you've got your broom as well, which you can use to travel to different locations. And all of these things are buyable at Hogsmead. You can buy and upgrade pretty much everything in the game. Your brooms, your wand, your clothing. So you can completely customize yourself as you play through the game, and that's a really fun part of the game, and it really does make it quite rewarding to seek out new treasure in order to upgrade your equipment and make yourself not only look better but a little bit more powerful as well. Throughout the game there is a multitude of side quests to take on. Some of them are fine and some of them are not just as interesting, I think it's fair to say. But you'll meet a whole array of different students within Hogwarts, and you'll get like little side missions from them, treasure hunts, other little bits and pieces for you to do. And that leads me on, if you like, to the combat here in the game. Now, you would think that trying to incorporate all the different spells, the Expelliarmuses and the Wingardium Leviosa and Lumos, and the amount of spells that you would expect to see in this game, they're all there, and it makes it a joy to play because it's actually really, really easy to use the spells. You've got like your standard attack spell if you're in a combat situation, and then you just click the right trigger and use one of your other more powerful spells. You can lift them up in the air and then start blasting them while they're in the air. I mean, it's great, and especially when you're dueling other enemies as well. That is really cool. So they've absolutely nailed the combat here. It's constantly fun. It never ever gets boring. I certainly found anyway. And it makes the game a lot of fun to play, certainly. And it's quite creepy as well. Some of the enemies, especially the spiders and stuff in the Forbidden Forest, they're pretty creepy to fight against. And you get some decent bosses along the way. I mean, they're nothing major or anything. It's not Elden Ring type bosses, but, the designs are all really cool and interesting. And it will make Harry Potter fans very, very happy indeed. I think the way the game looks as well is really good. It is nicely polished. I've not had any glitches, any crashes. I've had no issues at all playing the game. It is silky smooth to play, and I think it looks really, really good for the game of this size. It's nicely polished, and I think the graphics are absolutely fabulous. It really is what I think this a Harry Potter's dream. It will give you absolutely everything you want from a Harry Potter game. The customizational options are just fantastic. The side quests and the quests are really good, really interesting, really involved. It's got some cracking cutscenes, and you'll get really, really into the story here. Some of the other things that I wasn't particularly interested in is like the time trials that you could do with the races, as you can see here. I'm never really interested in that in any type of game. When it comes to races and time trials and stuff like that, I'm never really interested in that. And I'm not a completionist where I feel like I have to find every little bit of treasure on the map, or every little puzzle needs to be solved. There's like Merlin puzzles all over the map and stuff like that, and if I stumble across them, then I will try and solve them, but I don't kind of seek them out. I'm not one of these that feels I have to complete absolutely everything in this game. But the immersion's fantastic. It's definitely a lot of fun to play. It's a really well put together RPG, and it's a really, really high quality purchase as well. I'm really pleased I've finally got around to playing this. It is definitely a high quality game, and probably for many people is likely to be their RPG of the year, maybe. It's looked good ever since it was first revealed, and finally we get a game when it is absolutely released to the general public. It is a nicely polished game that is doing well and the fans seem to love. So that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a top quality game. Occasionally it can get a little bit repetitive, but if you're a fan of Harry Potter, then I don't think you'll mind that. So I hope you enjoyed this review.